Peace, 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 family. Oh shit, I forgot. Okay, I'm in there. Okay. Um, this is for community news. I haven't listened to the sister in a minute, but on my community tab, you will see a clip over there with a statement, and a hashtag. And I just happened to see her post pop up, and it was about 23andMe, and I'm sharing this for the community, if you would. Peace, Alex or Alexis. I'm sorry. Um, I'm sharing this for the community. I don't have much time. I'm in between loads right now, at least for about an hour. But I'm not going to mention her name. Go over to my community post, hit that last one, and listen to the video that she shared. Um, I didn't know if it was true. Not to say that I doubted her, but a lot of people, do a lot of shit out here, and for various reasons, good, bad, or indifferent. But when I looked up the Senate hearings, I have to consider what was being said on the sister's post. So y'all give her some views. Y'all know her. She's been out here for a minute. Okay. But one of the things that they're saying is that the people who took the DNA, the swab test for 23andMe, that they are selling that data um, to Chinese companies or something like that. But that 23andMe was not what it purported itself to be, that it was a biotech company, and that there's the potential, if nothing else, the potential for people who gave their mouth swabs, DNA swabs, to 23andMe, um, for them to create bioweapons. And I know we get a lot of fear-based shit up here, so I know it's like, oh, not another one of those. But it might be important for you guys to look at. In light of that, I will say one other thing. If you guys remember, I stumbled across the uh, 1776 project, and I questioned why no one had spoken on the 1776 project, but they spoke on the 1619 project. We came over here in 1619 and slave boats and shit. And with this um, environment, there has been a lot of back and forth between the Abo community, Indian community, Moorish community, and the Pan Africans, and everything is mixed, mingled, twisted, and screwed, flipped upside down, turned inside out. I know y'all haven't heard me say that in a minute, but I got to looking at what the sister presented, what she said, and the fact that these hearings have been going on for a minute. In actuality, one of the videos, it says something about the first, um, and the one right now says 7 days ago, and I have to question, in this community, and I'm speaking explicitly to this community, with all the DNA talk and haplogroups and mouth swabs and where we come from, how come none of y'all talked about this, but this one sister popped out and she did? I question everybody right now. Okay? Like I said, I don't trust people because, and I try to give y'all the benefit of the doubt and first impressions, and I like being around y'all, but y'all be doing some crazy ass shit for some dumbass reasons. And for me to see this, I'm like, y'all gonna keep pushing this DNA conversation? Hmm? Your skirt is showing. Let's get into some of these videos. I'm gonna take a strike for this one, but I don't care. It's done under fair use, but people ain't honoring shit, so it don't matter. Check this out, y'all. Conversation that's going on that all of our well-informed scholars and debaters and talkers haven't said shit about. And I just want to let y'all know I didn't take a DNA test. Okay? Thank you to the folks who stayed on this side with that shit. But why y'all keep letting this shit run through? Let's look at some of these videos.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Seal Savage, if I could just start with you. So how many customers do you have approximately?
Between 14 and 15 million customers.
Between 14 to 15 million. I think you told Senator Britt just a minute ago that a goodly number of those are minors. Is that correct?
What I said was I don't have the number of customers.
You have the genetic data of a good many minors. Is that correct?
We have genetic data for a particular number of minors, and I will be happy to provide.
People under the age of 18. Is that correct?
That is how I'm defining a minor.
So they get your customers, I just want to make sure I understand your business model. Your customers give you their genetic information for you to run various tests on. Is that right?
Yes, that is correct.
And I mean, that's pretty sensitive stuff, isn't it? Somebody's genetic information. Is there anything more personal than that?
I would agree with you, Senator, that genetic data is sensitive information.
And so now you're just going to sell all of it?
Let's pause for a second and just, like I said, go pay attention to the sister who did this. But it's quite ironic that Albert Perry and Henrietta Lacks were mentioned. And if y'all just go back in the recesses of your mind and think about all the people who were sitting up talking, having long ass conversations about Albert Perry and Henrietta Lacks, put your emotion to the side and bring out your analyst and analyze this shit, brothers and sisters. Peace, the enemy's public.
15 million people, bunches of kids, maybe millions. It's just going to be sold in the open market.
As Senator, the good news, as I mentioned, is that the two bidders or buyers for the company, one is Regeneron, which is
that's the big pharma company. It doesn't make me feel any better.
Is a large pharmaceutical company.
All right, so you're gonna take 15 million Americans' genetic information and you're gonna sell it to somebody. And your message to us is today: trust us, it'll be fine. Maybe it's a big pharma company. Maybe we'll get lucky. Maybe they'll treat it right. I thought your privacy code, your privacy commitment said that consumers had a right not to have their information shared with anybody else without their consent. I mean, I've got your privacy statement right here. It says that without their consent, you can't share their information. You're about to sell it.
Senator, that consent is, essentially for,
not real.
Not share for research purposes, and we are not selling it for research purposes.
So when you tell the consumer, give us your personal information and we'll take money from you, and we won't give it to anybody without your consent, it's not real. It just means, maybe kind of depends on the day.
Senator, I will say that our customers' data is their own. They have the right at all times to access that information. They can edit it.
Well, sure they can, but you're about to sell it to who knows who. They can't control it. You said to Senator Moody that consumers have complete control of their data. Complete. How can they have complete control if you're about to sell it without their consent?
Senator, they can delete that data anytime up until the sale and after.
Oh, okay. They can delete the data. Have you fixed the ability of customers to go on your website and delete it? Because right after you announced your sale, your deletion page went down. I hold in my hand here an article from the Wall Street Journal. 23andMe site goes down as customers struggle to delete their data. Can they even get onto your site to delete their data?
They can, Senator. And
you fixed this?
That was an issue that, yes, we fixed immediately after.
It's up and running now. Customers can go on?
Customers can go on and they can delete their data.
What happens when they go onto your site to delete their data?
When a customer logs into their account at 23andMe, they go to their settings page and there's a section there where just click delete my data. It confirms that they want to delete their data and it's deleted automatically.
Is that true? Let's take a look.
Okay.
When they go onto your page, they get an opportunity. It says permanently delete the data. So they click the button that says permanently delete the data, and then they get a notification that says your account is no longer accessible. How do they know if they can't access their account anymore? How do they know their data's been deleted?
Because we send them a notification that their information has been deleted.
You send it once, and how long does that take?
Our policies state that, we will delete their data within 30 days. And in most cases, it is automatic and happens much quickly.
And when you delete it, it's deleted. It's gone forever.
All the genetic data is deleted forever. And yes.
Really? because that's not what your privacy statement says in the fine print. Let's read it. What your statement says is, we retain personal information for as long as necessary to provide the services and fill the transactions you have requested, to comply with our legal obligations, resolve disputes, enforce agreements, et cetera, and then it goes on, 23andMe and or our contracted genotyping laboratory will retain your genetic information even if you choose to delete your account.
Senator,
Y'all know how I got to do this. I got to interrupt this stuff, but I wanted y'all to see this. Shout out to the sister who did this. Okay. It's going to a bio lab. Now, when they first started talking about this, having your DNA, on these sent to these sites, the initial argument that I heard about was they're giving it to law enforcement. Even videos came up about, Britain, when somebody gets arrested, they be taking their swabs over there on the other side of the water. And, that, you're giving your DNA away and nobody can tell you where you're from a a mouse swab. And here we are now with 23andMe going into bankruptcy, which we know. And I want you to avoid they went into bankruptcy and that's all they're talking about. No, they're talking about what's going on with your data. It's going to Big Pharma. It's going to Geo Labs. And some people are saying that they're using our identity crisis that we have, especially looking at social media and wanting some real facts to say that we're Americans or Africans or Indian or any of this shit, that they're going to use that against us in things like our hair, hair products, if you would, weaves for women, or any other damn thing that we use, because it's all about the consumer base here, that any of these things can be used to target our annihilation, if you would, or to cripple us, if you would. Now, I'm not saying that that's true because I haven't done the research, and that's above my pay grade, but it's worth looking into, and I still question why people who have had this conversation about DNA over the past 3-4 fucking years ain't said nothing about these hearings other than, ooh, 23andMe went into bankruptcy. What about the folks out here who say that they're against Big Pharma? Are you? Because that's where the DNA is going. And again, this has something to do with Albert Perry. Perry, Pickney, all them conversations that we've been having. Y'all know my statement. If you find a pattern, you can find the protocol. Oh, wait. Find the principle. You can find the pattern. If you find the pattern, you can find the protocol. What's the protocol here? Reparations? So y'all can sue the government? Yeah. Okay, y'all better watch y'all shit. I can't tell y'all what all I see, but I'm not really beholden to anybody because y'all like kicking me out the community regularly and often. Okay? And it's cool. I'm glad I walk alone on this shit. You knew something was wrong, Kelly. I hear you. I hear you. I wasn't going to do it. I thought about it many years ago, way back there when the Black Eagle in Washington was out here talking about it. And that had to be back here in 2008, 2005, something like that. But right now, it's like they're getting ready to sell this company to foreigners. And one of those foreigners who the sister who did the post, okay, says one of those places has to do with Albert Perry, them trying to get a hold of Albert Perry's DNA sample. And I have to ask, I heard about Albert Perry a long ass time ago. So why are we having a conversation about Albert Perry today? I often wonder that, same way we start talking about Christus Attucks and, Benjamin Franklin and, who's a Moor, who's an Indian, who's a Turk, who's a Slav, who's a Jew. Find the principle, find the pattern. Can y'all see the program or the protocol? I'm sorry, the program. I'm just I'm seething underneath. Okay? As I said before, I stumbled across the 1776 project, but people were very vocal about the 1619 project. And I just wanted to put this one out here, kind of backing that sister up and getting back to the reason why some of us are on social media, okay? Because we have the ability to share information with the whole community and let our voices be known rather than just trolling each other for hours and saying random ass dumb shit. Um, I'm sorry, I'm seething underneath. Um, I wanted to put this out here before I said anything into a chat, and then somebody decided to go ahead and make that their talking point. I wanted to get it out here. Okay. hmm As someone said, trust no one. Okay. Hey, Susan. What you say? Let me throw that up on the stream. What you say? You watched the video yesterday about bioweapons already being prepared for July 4th. Truth or not, always be prepared for anything. Indeed, Kelly. And y'all be careful on that July 4th because y'all know I can't mention their names because, people, it's like stirring the hornet's nest around here. But y'all know somebody got arrested on that holiday some years ago, which I questioned why somebody with that much experience in the military would make a spectacle of themselves on that particular day. Y'all be careful out here. Okay. Yeah. And don't fall for the Juneteenth Neapolitan ice cream. I know y'all not, but Okay. Hey, what they gonna do? We all gotta go someday, Kelly. Because some people want to know. Some people really don't understand, and I just want to give them a chance. You know how they say that when our opposition, the people who are supposedly against stuff of all kinds of creeds and cultures and stuff, that they have to tell us by the laws of nature, they have to tell us what they're going to do to avoid their karma. I'm just throwing it out here because they have to tell us. Okay? We should know and be aware rather than being going into this shit blind, thinking it's one thing, you know, being on code, unity, black power, FBA, Moorish doctrines, ABOs, all this shit. Oh, did I mention the gender thing or, you know, the red pill, blue pill thing? That I'm gonna tell y'all like I told my sister, and if it don't touch you, it just don't touch you. But I said these niggas ain't shit because somebody know this shit, but y'all always play the same goddamn game every season, and it's funny how y'all play the same damn game in the summer. However y'all do that, it's been mixed and mingled, twisted and screwed, flipped upside down, turned inside out, but it's the same fucking game. It's a program that's being played on our people. So before y'all, excuse me, before y'all get all up, ooh, this is happening. Just be aware. This is to be aware of what's going on because we found so many inconsistencies, especially when we talk about the Bible. Logic goes out the fucking window. Okay, let me give you another one, and I'm gonna get back to the video. Give you another one. Y'all should have. I told y'all to go look at my community tab when I was talking about the movie Straw. And I said, I saw straw as a double entendre. Yeah, the straw that broke the camel's back. I said, but the logical fallacy of it was that she became everybody's straw man and everybody became everybody else's straw man. I want y'all to keep that in mind and figure out whose straw man you are. Because I know I'm somebody's straw man. hmm hmm So this is just for y'all to be aware that if you sent your DNA out to 23andMe, that they possibly that 23andMe, according to what was stated, I haven't researched it, that 23andMe was a biotech company, that information on your DNA is being sent to big pharma companies and possibly has something to do with bioweapons. So when it comes to what you eat, what you put on your body, what you drink, the atmosphere that you're in, pay attention to everything. It could save your life. Okay? Hey, Gigi. All right, let's get back to it. It's not even just the powers that be. Trust me. Um, like I said before, shirts versus skins down on the field. We're all in the spectator's box watching it. It's not until we turn to the owner's box and start to look at who's really behind it will things change. And what we have to understand in a conversation where you say, white folks couldn't have done that by themselves, or white folks couldn't have done that by themselves, or it was the DJEWS's, okay, I'll say it that way. But the DJEWS's are the MOORs, but they're really the Arabics, but they're really the Africans, but they're really the blacks, but really they're the Indians. But then on the other hand, they're the Negroes. You better understand who's behind this shit. Let's finish playing the video.
Senator, 23andMe, it does not retain any genetic information regarding the consumer once they delete their account. We do.
It says right here that you will retain genetic information, including date of birth and sex, even if you choose to delete your account. This is your privacy policy. I'm just quoting from it.
Senator, to the best of my knowledge, we do not maintain any genetic information.
It says even if you choose to delete your account, we will retain your genetic information, date of birth and sex, even if you choose to delete your account.
There's some information that we do retain, but not related to the genetic information.
Right.
But that, such as name, email address, and other.
So even if you delete the account, you retain their name, you retain their email address, you retain their date of birth, you retain their sex, and you retain their genetic information, even if they choose to delete your account. So in other words, don't talk to your suit behind you. Talk to me. He's not testifying. You are. You do not allow consumers actually to delete permanently their data. And when you said a minute ago to Senator Moody, at all times, consumers have complete control of their data, that's just not true, is it? By the terms of your own agreement, that just is not true.
Senator, with all due respect, all of the genetic data is deleted. We are only...
With all due respect, what you are telling me is in direct contravention to what your own policy states, even if you choose to delete your account. In fact, what you do is you allow your consumers to delete their account settings, but their data isn't deleted. You still have it. The laboratory still has it. You have their name. You have their date of birth. You have their sex. And now you're going to sell it. Here's my point. It's a pattern. Your consumers actually aren't in control of anything. You are. You control their data. You control their genetic information. Now you're about to sell it. You promise them, we won't ever sell it without your consent, but you're doing it. You promise them we'll allow you to delete it, but you don't. In fact, you've lied to them. Have you not?
Senator, we have not. I assure you that we are deleting all of our customers who have requested.
No, you're not. You're not, because your policies say they're not. And you're not deleting it because if you were, your company wouldn't be worth $300 million. No, don't read from what your guy behind you is shoveling talking points to you now. I don't want your talking points. I've read your policies. I've seen what they are. And I tell you what, it's amazing to me you're not getting your socks sewed off by your customers. I hope they will. I hope they will rush to the courthouse, even as we are here today, to sue you into oblivion for lying to them and taking their most personal identifiable information and selling it for a profit and lying to them and to the American public. Quite frankly, Mr. Selsavage, what you're doing here has all kinds of implications, national security implications, all of it, but nothing is worse than taking the personal identifiable information of American consumers and keeping it and lying to them about it while you make a huge profit off of it. It's unbelievable to me. It's absolutely unbelievable. This concludes our hearing.
Okay, that's one video. I'm gonna play another one. Okay. I haven't listened to him. That was my first time hearing the whole video. We talk about suing for reparations. All you people who went out there and did that DNA test, there go your lawsuit right there. From what I hear, 27 states, should I say 27 lawsuits is being thrown against these people. Oh, I'm sorry, but y'all want to sue for sovereignty. My bad. What was I thinking? Okay. 27 lawsuits, from what I hear, are going against these folks, but they didn't got millions and billions of dollars from this bullshit. Okay. Shout out to the ones who didn't give their DNA, but don't think you out of the woods yet. Okay. Again, because it's a whole lot of conversations, just not the right conversations. I said it. Okay. Let's find another one. Let's back on up. Let's find another one. Let's try this one.
The gentleman yields. Mr. Crane, the gentleman from Arizona, is recognized for 5 minutes for question.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. According to public reporting, individuals with Jewish and Chinese heritage were targeted in the hack that happened a couple years ago at 23andMe. Ms. Wojcicki, why were Chinese and Jewish individuals targeted during this hack?
That's a great question. I don't believe it was specifically those individuals. It was definitely something that was reported in the media, and there were a lot of Jewish, specifically those individuals. It was definitely something that was reported in the media, and there were a lot of Jewish relatives that were in some of that information, but I don't believe it was.
Let's try that again.
Specific. That's a great question. I don't believe it was specifically those individuals. It was definitely something that was reported in the media, and there were a lot of Jewish relatives that were in some of that information, but I don't believe it was necessarily a specific attack on those. It was the credential stuffing.
But didn't one of the individuals say that he would sell information about individuals with Jewish heritage?
They did report that they said that.
Okay. Interesting. Having people's personal DNA profiles unsecured is obviously a very serious issue. Could be used to develop bioweapons, forced readiness analysis, blackmail, coercion, and pharmaceutical targeting. I noticed when Ms. Presley asked if you would allow consumers who had submitted their DNA to 23andMe to erase their data from the site before the sale to a new buyer, neither of you could answer yes. I want to go into that for a second. Why could neither of you answer yes if both of you claim that the owners of the DNA is actually your customers?
Our customers always have control over their data. They can, basically they can access their data, they can edit their data, they can opt in or out.
When they said that stuff about their data, I just want to bring back to you guys' remembrance that when it came out that Facebook was data mining information, I believe it was Red Pill or Blue Pill, one of the ones has said that. And when I listened to that, I immediately went over to Facebook and took all my stuff down because they were data mining our data. And then, of course, sliding on down the line, we got Elon Musk and the metaverse and, all that bullshit, virtual reality and all that shit. And you can own property in the metaverse, wherever the fuck that is. Um, but here we are again talking about them mining data. And when they say that you can take it down, is it really gone? No, it's in their database. Um, under the thing that I do, there's some companies that I haven't worked for in a long time. I went to go do what I'm doing now, set this stuff up that I'm doing now, and I had to go back and find out who had my shit because my emails were tied to other things. And people can get my email and phone number right now if they wanted it, but I'm not answering any more spam calls. Okay. um on top of this, I think these things go hand in hand. A lot of things changed with COVID. Okay. Everybody sat at home, had to make some money some kind of way, and everybody started working from home in some kind of way. That's why we got all these problems in my industry with these dispatchers and sales reps that want to sell you all kind of services and this, that, and the other. Like I said, I have never talked to so many telemarketers in my damn life. Okay. um but a lot of things happen when COVID happened. Even the hold that happened, there was something that, and I can't remember the details on it right now, but there was a program that they needed to, in my opinion, they needed to pull something back until they got certain protocols in place. And then by the time COVID released us, here comes, um, damn, I almost saw it. I see it in my head, but I can't bring it out. Um, being able to contract with get international money, I think it has something to do with that. Okay. They had to get some protocols in place to bring this other entity in so that people could have access to international trade. Okay, leave that alone. Okay. um, but a lot of things happened during that COVID shutdown, um, where things like this became the new norm, the new normal. um, Things that wouldn't have happened before. Who was really wanting to send all their DNA to somebody online had it not been for our identity crisis, social media, nationality and sovereign citizen and UCC, all that shit. Okay, taking over the government, forcing all the migrants, former foreigners, and everybody off the land. All of the shit goes together. Even something in the chat was mentioned. The word Georgia came out, and I said, "Oh yeah, CDC." Wasn't somebody up here really talking about the CDC and you know the different categories? Yeah, folks looking suspect as fuck right now. Okay, excuse my language, but don't excuse my language. Sorry, not sorry. Okay, because I thought Pan Africanism was dead. It apparently is alive and well and doing his job with a little help. Let me go grab my glasses, y'all. I see y'all typing some stuff in the chat. Let me peep, and then I'm gonna have to pop because I'm gonna have to go pretty soon. Let's see what y'all say in the chat. Ooh. Oh, no problem, Kelly. Mm-hmm. Jewish Colonial Bank, Star of David, Mark of Solomon. Hate is tried and true weapon of mass destruction. Yeah, yeah. You know how they don't want people to like people because of the color of their skin, their gender, where they from, all this other bullshit. Yeah, yeah, all that bullshit. Anyway, um, just wanted to bring out that part about the data mining right in there. Let me see what else y'all got in here. Uh huh. He got blood on his hands like David, huh? He couldn't build that tabernacle, but somebody else had to build it, like Solomon. Uh huh. Mm. Niggas ain't shit. Niggas ain't shit but hoes and tricks. I'm sorry. It's been a minute. I haven't been up here in a minute. I'm sorry. My bad. My bad. Yeah. Yeah. We're either being trolled to oblivion or things are truthful. Um, the way it's being presented, but y'all know how it go. It's not the official story that gets the grease. We get the rub though, don't we? Okay. Yeah. You got to be sanctioned to say what it is. You got to have a degree in politics to say. You can't just be a regular person going, this shit don't add the fuck up. Okay. Because y'all know how it go. 1 + 1 ain't 2. Let's play some more of this video. What time is it? Yeah, I'm gonna have to get out of here pretty soon. I got about 17 minutes, y'all. All right, let's go.
Out of any research consent. And most importantly, at any time they so choose to, they can delete their data. In the case of,
Then why couldn't you answer Ms. Presley's question that way? Do you remember that question, sir?
I don't remember the exact question she asked, but for our customers, you know,
Her question, sir, was, will you give your customers the ability to opt in back in before the sale to a new owner that they didn't submit their data to?
I believe her question to me was
A new owner that they didn't back in before the sale to a new owner that they didn't back in before the sale to a new.
customers, you know,
Her question, sir, was, will you give your customers the ability to opt in back in before the sale to a new owner that they didn't submit their data to?
I believe her question to me was, will we give people direct notice to say that they can opt in or out of keeping their data? You know, what I am saying today is at any time, and this has been the case since the founding of 23andMe, a customer can delete their data. It's an automated process. They simply go into their account, click, you know, go to the settings, and they can click delete their data. It's an automated process. We delete all their digital data, and if they've biobanked a sample and consented to that, we destroy that sample. And we do that timely, and we've done that for every customer who requested us since inception, including the large number of customers who requested the deletion of their data since the bankruptcy.
How difficult is it to do that, Mr. Selsovich?
I think it is very simple. I think it probably takes somebody less than 5 minutes to go into their account, go to the settings, click delete my data. And for the company, it's an automated process.
Mr. Selsovich, you said you're very confident that American data will not wind up in the hands of a bad actor. Did you say that a few minutes ago?
I did, Congressman.
How can you make that claim when 7 million users have already had their information stolen?
Congressman, you know, the cyber incident
7 million
was very regrettable, and we apologized for that to our customers. The data that was actually released in that cybersecurity incident was, you know, mostly DNA relative data, you know, and while it is customer data that was revealed, we believe we've since, you know, enhanced the security at 23andMe, where we always maintain that it's a top priority for the company. And then second is through the sale process, we're ensuring that the sale of the company will not go to any company that is a foreign adversary to the U.S.
Ms. Wojcicki, did I say that right?
Wojcicki.
Wojcicki,
great.
sorry.
Mhm.
You said the same thing, that you were very confident that data would not wind up in the hands of a bad actor. I mean,
to the adversarial to the U.S. or adversarial to the Americans?
you've been in this space for a long time. You know, hacks happen every single day. You know that many nation states that are adversarial to the United States of America have very robust cybersecurity operations. How can you be confident when 7 million of your customers have already had their data stolen?
Just to reiterate, I'm not part of the bankruptcy process other than the fact that I'm an active bidder. During my time at the company, we did very proactive steps. For instance, like I mentioned, keeping the genetic information separate from all the identifiable information. So we tried to create a structure where even if there was some kind of breach, that you would not be able to reconnect those and identify back to the individuals and who they were. So in the cyber incident, it was, as Mr. Savage was saying, a lot of it was DNA relatives' names and small amounts of information. So it was mostly those names.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I yield back.
The gentleman yields. The gentleman yields. Mr. Crane, the gentleman.
Yeah, so much security. They did so much on the DNA security shit that data breaches with your telephone and data breaches with your bank couldn't even stop people from getting your information. But a DNA company done a job that ain't even a government entity. Okay, I believe it. My shit ain't on there. Okay. Let's see what else. Let's see. What I got. I got about 12 minutes. Let's see if we can find another one. Here, I'll let y'all see this real quick. Come on, come back here. This is for information purposes, fair use. And I say that because here's a video right here that aired 4 days ago on whatever channel this is. Forbes breaking news. ICYMI 23andMe CEO testifies before Senate Judiciary Committee about threats to customer DNA data. Okay. That one you might want to go and see. Okay. But it's an hour and 38 minutes and I don't have that much time. All right. Yeah. They got you. Okay. Here's one. The sister mentioned something about Marjorie Taylor Greene, and y'all know I don't rock with her because I'm more a Jasmine kind of girl. Okay. But the sister who aired this said that basically Marjorie Taylor Greene went more at these people, this 23andMe and CEO and all that, than Jasmine Green did. So that's one of the narratives that's out there. Let's take 4 minutes and look at this. I got a few minutes here.
It is science. Is that correct?
It's about learning about their family, their ancestry, science.
The chair.
Ooh, let me stop at science. Okay, I will try to give you that link. Okay. Notice all the science people around here that know so much about science that they can argue over flat earth, round earth. What was the last one that I heard that was ridiculous as fuck? Which came first, the chicken or the egg? I'm sorry. Which came first, the creator or the creation? I mean, which came first, man or God? Yeah. Hey, scientists. Hey. Yeah. Y'all looking mighty funny right now. Okay. Let's play this one.
Recognizes Ms. Green of Georgia for 5 minutes for questioning.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Ms. Wojcicki, sorry, apologize. You co-founded 23andMe in 2006 and took the company public in 2021. Is that correct?
That is correct.
And this is all about DNA, which is we would call science. Is that right?
It was really about how individuals can learn about their own genetic information.
But DNA and the study of it is science. Is that correct?
It's about learning about their family, their ancestry, science, and their health risks.
Okay, so it's science. Now, in 2001, you reposted Dr. Raven, the science maven, who reposted my post of a sign that I kept outside of my office that said there are two genders, male and female, trust the science. And the attack on this, which you reposted, so you must have agreed with them, was as a scientist with a transgender parent, I need you to sit down. You don't know the science or the history. You trust the science. Science draws a difference between sex at birth and gender identity. The systematic incidentalization of gender is a product of colonization. What does colonization have to do with gender?
I haven't seen that in a long time. I don't.
You reposted it though, so you must have known something about it. Also, 23andMe, the company that you led at the time, or that you're still there and you're trying to buy, opponents of trans rights use the phrase "trust the science" to make false claims about sex and gender. We support what the science actually says. Accepting and affirming trans people has a positive impact on their health. Trust the science, support trans health, which is really interesting because in DNA, it shows that there's only two sexes, two genders, male and female. And that should be something that you're you're very tied in.
God damn, she just mumbled. Intricate, bitch. Intricate. Okay. To answer your question, I don't know if anybody has answered that question, Kelly Green, but my answer is the chicken with the egg. Just look, word for thought. What do you call a male chicken? Ain't he called a rooster? And who holds the egg? The female chicken? So the chicken with the egg. Okay. So what came first? Man with the idea of God. Okay, that's what came first. Okay. Yeah. Okay. But here's the thing. It's a suppression of the feminine energy, a suppression of the woman, which has gone through your religion, which gone through your politics, which has went through your economics and your business and your household and your farming and everything that we touch. Okay. And as the sister who will remain nameless at this particular point said, that in her presentation, she also talked about the additives that were put into the food or whatever, or experiments that were done that showed that it made men gay. So this trans thing is a natural occurrence to some shit that's been going on with your DNA and and the environment, and some natural, some not so natural, but it all goes hand in hand. Why some of this is not to attack anybody who has an alternative lifestyle. Okay, you can't get me for slander because I had one too. Okay, but it's a whole agenda for this push to flip the things that we do in the privacy of our home. Dum dum da. I'm just saying. Okay. But it goes without saying. I would say that some brothers want to protect the sisters and some brothers want to be the sisters. And I'm not talking about the ones that be with guys. I'm talking about the guys that be with guys. I'm talking about the guys that really just want to take our place. What's that song that they had back in the 70s? Was it called Backstabbers? Always want to take your place. That part? Yeah, that's what's going on. Okay. Yeah, long ass time ago. Yeah, we traded our privacy for convenience a long ass time ago. Hold on to what you can until you can't hold on to it no more. Okay. But damn. Colonization. Okay. I'm sorry. People can tell you whatever they want to tell you, but just listen for yourself. Why are they talking about colonization and DNA and people wanting to know who they are at the same time that we're sitting up here talking about who we are and arguing about whether we can call ourselves Indian or Aboriginals or Tauntauns or Africans or African Americans or Moors or what else is in there? Okay, yeah, that part. Oh, the OJs. Okay, thank you, Milestones. Let's play the rest of this because I got to go, y'all. I got 3 minutes. They got 3 minutes. All right, let's go.
Into that, since you founded the company, co-founded the company, took it public, and you want to buy it again. So it's baffling that 23andMe, a company that specializes in DNA and people's very personal information and how God has designed human beings, would support and continue to support the trans ideology that this is something that can be changed. Have you ever seen
Pink
any
triangle.
DNA or know of DNA that a biological male can give birth to a baby?
No.
No. So this is something that we know cannot be changed. That's scientific. That's the design of our DNA. And I don't understand, and I think most people don't understand why 23andMe would take such a hard left political position supporting trans rights. And here's what's the really weird part about it is it says
Hey, baby
this
girl
is one of the
Slaughter.
many reasons why we've been working to improve our products for trans and non-binary customers. I thought your product is helping people understand their DNA, linking themselves with family trees. So I can't comprehend what kind of product 23andMe could give to people who identify themselves in some other way. That doesn't make a lot of sense. Another thing that's hard to understand is, the beauty of DNA is it's the beautiful design. It's God's design down to the finest detail, a granular level of how we're made, but it also helps people link with their family trees. This is a letter that you put out after the SCOTUS ruling overturning Roe versus Wade, and you put out a letter very much against the ruling that the right should go back to the states. And you clearly put your own personal belief in here on the 23andMe social media that you are very much for the killing of the unborn, the killing of babies, which completely would destroy what your company is all about. How can we study DNA? How can we study people's lineage if one of the very co-founders and who wants to own the company again supports the murder of the unborn, the murder of God's design, and the murder of God's creation, which we can link it to DNA. And Mr. Chairman, I'm running out of time, but I think that's 100% against the science.
Okay. Now that I heard her, I think that she needs to run out of time permanently. Don't fall for this agenda, the transgender and the abortion agenda, because they've been running that up the fucking flagpole since they overturned Roe v. Wade. Okay. And at one point, no matter how much we told people, at least myself, told people that we got duped with Roe v. Wade, that they lied to us in the beginning, still red pill, blue pill, or whatever the fuck pill they be dropping, Adderall or whatever, I don't know what the fuck. They still wanted to lay it on the shoulders of women doing fucked up shit. Okay. And they didn't want to hear that. So don't fall for her agenda, because that's a talking point for a particular group. Our concern here is about our DNA being used for bioweapons, being sold to foreigners, to create things not for our good that might be detrimental against us, and also the Albert Perry DNA conversation that has been roaming around in this community. That's the reason why I'm putting this up here, because like I said, there have been people who have been talking about this for the longest in these debates and discussions, and nobody but that one sister had the gumption to come up here and actually say what was going on with 23andMe, and about these lawsuits that's going on. Not just that they're in bankruptcy, ooh wee, ha ha, yay. No, somebody been selling y'all out. That's what's been going on. What time is it? Okay, we got to get out of here, y'all. I gotta go, but I'll be back. I got a little time this weekend. Okay, my load ain't gonna be. It's not a rush on this next one. Okay, so just watch y'all asses out there. Okay, what you say? They were caught in another life-altering study on young, aka black males. Yeah, they participate in shit regularly and often. All you gotta do is give them a happy suggestion. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna take my time to do a little shot. I'm gonna do a little shot, brothers, brothers. brothers. Father's Day. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. Excuse me. But just like y'all knew before when we started talking about uh, uh, December 21st ain't got nothing to do with when Jesus was born. It's the winter solstice, and Halloween ain't got nothing to do with blah, 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 blah. It's about All Hallows Eve, and Easter ain't got nothing to do with the Easter egg. But okay, just like y'all got that revelation and y'all been running that because y'all ain't got nothing else to run the Father's Day one too. Because I swear to God, a lot of y'all, I know I didn't, but a lot of us didn't know that the reason why Father's Day came around was because a man chose to raise his children after his wife died. Okay? He raised them. And the daughter wanted to honor her father, and that's how you ended up with Father's Day, from a single father who stayed in the house raising his children. And people want to get up here and start to try to bang on women about what's in the household and what they done and this and the Copper Tone. I know you was trolling, okay, but at the same time, y'all talking about Father's Day in light of child support. Y'all ain't even in the goddamn house. Y'all failed on that one, okay. Celebrate Father's Day for what it is and not for what it ain't. Now, it ain't your time to complain. It's still your time to stand the fuck up. Even right now, it's time for y'all to stand up. Because y'all running these conversations up, down, across the field, this, that, and the other, but ain't move one eye motherfucking odor. Excuse my language. I just get tired of being played by folks and having our people played by folks and backroom conversations that continue to play our folks. This ain't no code. This ain't about being on code. This ain't about doing better. This is about seeing what the fuck you can get away with. And when you talk about foreigners, understand that some of these people that you think is black and foreigners, shit. Fuck that shit. Okay? But I gotta go, y'all. I gotta get to work. I'll see y'all later. I'll come around here a little bit later. All right. See if we can get something in here. Play this outro and get the hell on out of here. All right. Oh, I'll tell y'all what my new name is in case y'all see me in the chat. I am that which cannot be named. I'm sorry, I didn't know if y'all heard all that ranting I just did because I looked down and the mic was muted. Talk to y'all later.